not adapting to it, but really looking at how we can bring all of who we are, this unlimited nature that we are, fully expressed in this manner, in this life we are sort of recreating during this time. I like to think of the way we choose to live as garments that we wear. We all get up every day, right? And we go in the closet or whatever. Some of us just throw our clothes on a chair and pick them back up and put them back on. Okay, giving away a few of my things my wife doesn't like about what goes on at the house sometimes. But what I'm saying is that we all choose what we're going to wear, these garments that sort of say who we are, at least for the day. And it's different for young people, it's different for women, it's different for men. Everybody has a different, some have uniforms they wear every day. And thank you for your service in whatever capacity you are, whether you're frontline, serving in our country, guarding and protecting us, anything that you're doing out there serving, thank you for that. But we put on these garments. And so just like our clothes, these garments that we wear this image of the way we want to portray ourselves in our lives. And when we look at the garments that we're wearing, we create them. We kind of weave the fabric of the garments of life that depict who we are, that we feel on the inside, or that we know who we are on the inside. It's the way we show up and the way we interact and share who we are. And I like to think that our heart and soul is weaving the fabric of these garments, these threads, from that place of inspiration, from our spirit, from what really matters. Why would you wear a garment that isn't you? And so we not only weave the garments, we choose them and choose how we're going to show up each day in them. And so it's not about happening to us. It's not about what's going on around us. It's turning within to decide, okay, are we going to wear the same garments that we have before? Are we going to show up the same way? Are we going to break loose of the limitations or the bondage, so to speak, of self that we've created, thinking that's all there is, and that may have even diminished as a result of all of what we're going through, what we've been through? Or are we going to take the time to look closely at what we're made up of as, what we have woven as the garments that we wear and the expression that we have? Because keep in mind, it's not just what we wear and how we look. I don't mean just physically, but the way we portray ourselves authentically or with integrity in the world. If you walk into a room and you're joyous or relaxed or open and happy, you're going to exude that vibration, not only within you, but with those who you're interacting with. If you walk in a heavy, sad, and we all got to go through whatever we've got to go through, what I'm saying is that we have a choice. And that's what's really, really important right now. And it's even more important because we've been apparently limited by our isolation and our solitude and what we're going to have to go through, whatever that is, to be able to return to something a little bit more normal and comfortable. It's gonna require. Well, I don't want to say require. You can sit there and do what you want with your life. I'm just encouraging you to consider something different. I like to think that we are as much on the fringe of what was. I mean, what has happened is always ending every moment, as we are on the fringe of what is about to be. And almost stuck in our own homes or our own situations, we are kind of in between, It would appear, apparently, momentarily, there's an infinite point in between the continuing unfoldment of the spirit of life, of us being the expression of our spirit in our life. And so, like, how you have an out-breath, and then there's a moment, you don't even see it or recognize it, and then there's an in-breath. But there is a point between the out-breath and the in-breath where nothing's happening. you're not breathing out, you're not breathing in. And it seems like if you pause for a moment there's this wide open space. In fact, for me, in life, between what was and what's about to be, is that point of living that our spirit has the opportunity to influence our thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions in a way that allows us to almost spread our wings and soar, or sit back down in that same chair, sometimes in the dark, because we're either afraid or we're not sure, or we haven't figured it out, or we haven't looked. So we learn from what was, and we certainly reach for what can be. I'm not saying completely abandon learning from what you've experienced or bringing it with you, or to not strive for something better or different. And the moment that we're able to determine what that's going to be is now. Just after what's happened has happened, and what's about to happen is about to happen. And so that's that almost infinite point where it isn't governed by what was, unless you bring what you believe and what you think it has to be into this moment. And it's not governed by what will be, because we are now creating that. We are now actually already living it. It always has been becoming. We've always made these decisions moment by moment for the next moment to be something different than it was. And I don't want this to just talk about the power of now or being in the moment. It's much more than that. It's really allowing ourselves to explore what we haven't before because of the changes that have had to be made. In my life, I've had things apparently happen to me, things that have occurred that I have no control on in the circumstances and situations of my life. And I've had the wonderful opportunity to have me need to look at, okay, what now? How is my life going to be in 2021? And when some of these changes happened, it wasn't easy and it wasn't simple. It was challenging because a couple of them have been huge life changes. Some of us have been able to maintain or change a bit and do what needs to be done. In my case, my whole life and the way that it's being expressed changed dramatically. And the beauty of it for me is that I took the time to turn within and look to see how I wanted to live. And I have to say, it wasn't as easy as I would like to have it be. And I walked through it, and I discovered myself differently than I have before. Look at your life and see where you are and what matters. Look at your life and see what you'd really like to be or to create or to manifest. And I know your belief system about those possibilities or the limitations exist, and yet it's time for us to really start to look at things differently and create openings. Open a window and let some light in by looking more carefully at what our heart's talking about, or open a door and step through it where we would normally stay behind it in order to protect ourselves, or maybe even hide because we're afraid. We are spirit, constantly living each and every day. We have the opportunity to bring that spirit into our life and to live it, this spirit of life that we are. I say that we tap into the essence of the energy of our soul, of our spirit. It's that same energy that causes a bud of a flower to open to a bloom of a blossom and reveal what's within it. It's that brings that fragrance and that color and that texture of the petals and the beauty that it is to life. And it isn't as if the flower is experiencing itself, although we don't really know that. We have that opportunity to unfold like a bud of a flower and blossom in such a way that we reveal who we are within and have that be what we reflect and express into life. And we know we're far more than just these individual expressions. We're not only the expression of all that is moving in and through us in our lives always. We are unified together. We are the world. And so although we're living our independent lives, we're absolutely living together as one. Well, it's been great to have you here for the first show and to know that we are working together to make a difference in the way we live as the Spirit of Life. Let me know how I can help you and be there for you as you make your way. Have a beautiful and amazing day, week, month, year. God bless.